What's up, girlies? It's Earth Angel Ari here, and if you're new to my channel, my name is Ariana. If you love this video, stick around and subscribe. Today I am rocking the curly hair because this is how God made me, and it was for a reason. And of course we have my fun little drink. I cannot go without a fun little drink. So I wanted to make this video because in the past couple months, I have changed so much as a woman. I'm truly becoming the woman of my dreams, and I am truly becoming obsessed and in love with who I am inside. Like who I am, not who I'm becoming externally. And that has been making me the most confident version of myself that I have ever been in my entire life. Like I feel so free to be who I am, and that is just making people so magnetized towards me. It's making me feel so happy to be around others, and it's just making my life so enjoyable. So I want to talk about how literally becoming the most beautiful version that I could become on the inside is making me the most beautiful version that I could ever be on the outside. And I've just noticed that so many people are recognizing that as well. So the way that I got there was obviously doing a lot of inner work these past couple months. And I've been doing that inner work because I have been getting closer to God and Jesus. So these are all the things that have been changing inside of me. Everything that I've done so that you can do it too. Okay, so of course I have my little notebook. The first thing that I did was I started recognizing all of my flaws and everything about myself that I thought wasn't perfect. And I started just deciding to accept them and just deciding to love them, because I realized that God made us perfectly. And me judging all those things is literally judging God's creation. Like I used to have so many things about myself that I didn't really think fit the mold, or that I wasn't really proud of, or that I tried to hide from other people because I didn't want to be judged or I didn't want to be seen as imperfect. But in this season of my life, I just started saying, you know what? That is who God made me. And I am going to be that person because God made me perfectly. I am literally perfect. So I turned all of my flaws, all the things that I thought were not perfect, and I turned them perfect. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth. It was everything from things that I liked that I knew other girls didn't like, or things that I embodied that I know that other people didn't embody. And it was also things that I judged about myself, my weight, my skin, my hair, everything. And I just decided to say, you know what? God literally made me perfect. I am perfect. That has to be the truth, because if it came from God, it has to be the truth. Point blank, period. I rather believe God than I rather believe some person on the internet that says, you're not pretty if this, you're not this if that. BS, okay? The second thing that I did was I stopped judging, picking myself apart, and being my biggest hater. Like, throughout our entire day, so many of us can just be like picking ourselves apart in the smallest ways possible. Like we could be in a conversation with somebody and be like, why did you say that? Like you sounded so like stupid. Or like walk by the mirror and be like, you could look better in this area, or like you could look better here. You know what I mean? Like we are literally our biggest hater. We are judging ourselves constantly, whether it be good or bad. And that's the actual secret. Whether we're judging ourselves in a good way or a bad way, we need to stop judging ourselves. There's no right and wrong. That is the thing that we were taught. We were taught that there's a right way to be and there's a wrong way to be. There's no right or wrong. You are simply perfect. God made you perfect. So I stopped judging myself. I stopped monitoring myself. When I went outside, I stopped judging if I was acting weird. I stopped judging if I was being too playful or too funny or too crazy or too like energetic. I stopped judging myself. Stop judging yourself. Like, there's literally no point. God made you perfectly, and there's absolutely no reason to label something that you do or don't do, or how you look or how you feel, or your situation or your finances or your career or your relationship as good or bad. Stop judging yourself. Okay? And that also means stop judging other people. So something that really changed inside of me, especially when it came to my physical looks, right? If you guys know me, you know that I've been on a fitness journey, and it all came from self-love. I only started seeing results when I started really loving myself. I only started losing weight when I started loving myself. I only started getting my abs when I started loving myself. So in order to start loving myself, I need to stop judging myself. And the way that you judge other people is the same way that you judge yourself. So I have no shame because I'm an imperfect human. I have my flaws and I change them, and I'm so grateful to God that I'm able to do those things. So for me, I used to judge myself all the time on how I looked. I used to judge my skinniness. I used to judge, how I would be put together. I used to judge my fashion. And therefore I used to judge other people on that too. So I would see girls and be like, oh, like, she's not like perfect. And that's because I would look at myself and be like, I'm not perfect. So stop judging other people, because that is also a form of judgment. The way you judge other people is the same way you're going to judge yourself. Just stop having an opinion on stuff. Like, who asked us? Who asked us? Nobody. Okay? God literally made every single little thing perfect. So who are we to judge? Okay. The next thing after I stopped judging myself and I stopped having all of these flaws in my head about myself is I started to embrace my true self. Once I was like, you know what? This is who I am. I'm imperfect. I'm imperfectly perfect. This is who I am. I started deciding, you know what? I'm going to embrace my true self. I'm going to embrace the woman that God made me. That means that I wanted to embrace every single aspect about myself. Everything that I love, all my passions. And these are all things that I kind of dimmed down because other people didn't like them, or because I wanted to fit the mold. And I honestly was a people pleaser. For me, I have my specific likes and dislikes, and that is different from other people. But we're taught that if we like that and other people don't like that, then somehow we're not going to be liked, or we're not going to be accepted. Well, it's actually the opposite. You shine bright, you become influential, you become that freaking girl when you are so authentically yourself that you can literally influence other people to see your greatness and see the greatness in other things. So I had to practice embracing my true self. It didn't come naturally, because for so long I was trying to fit in and trying to be somebody else than myself. So I started just embracing every single little thing that I liked. I started out very, very small. It was like, you know what? I want to order this on the menu instead of a salad because I want to. Or you know what? For my gym outfits, I'm not going to wear what's trendy on social media. I always have thought that the marathon runners with all the neon stuff was just super cool and super eccentric and energetic, and that matches me. That's who I am. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start embracing all the little things about me that I used to dim down because I wanted to fit the mold. And I'm going to start owning that and being like, that is who I am. For me personally, I have a certain style that I love, and that is what makes me unique. I started embracing the things that make me unique. Okay? And again, I stopped trying to be a people pleaser, because what happens is that a lot of people in our lives tell us when we're growing up, oh, if you don't look a certain way, you don't dress a certain way, if you don't act a certain way, or if you act different than this way, you are going to be weird. You're going to be not accepted. And that makes us into people pleasers. Being a people pleaser is one of my biggest cycles that I have literally broken. And it could also be one of your biggest cycles that will set you free, make you become the most magnetic version of yourself, make you become the most free, lively, and just divine feminine version of yourself. So being a people pleaser was a huge thing that I had to cut off, which brings me to my next part. Okay? I had to stop being a people pleaser and start focusing on what pleased me. So there's a huge difference. When I would go out, I would always be kind of censoring myself because I didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to make other people think that I was weird. I didn't want to be different because I wanted to please other people. I started asking myself a lot of questions when I was going through this inner work. I was like, is it that I'm not confident in myself? Is it that I care too much for other people and I want to be a people pleaser? Like, what is it? And I started realizing that growing up, I've always been a person that has really cared a lot about other people. And I've always wanted to be in just a happy situation, a good situation. So growing up, I learned to be a people pleaser because I thought that if other people weren't satisfied then or happy, then this was like a bad situation, like that something was wrong or that I was doing something wrong. And so realizing that being a people pleaser is actually the worst thing that you can do, because people are going to feel how they want to feel regardless. People are going to have their own opinion and own, emotions regardless. And it literally has nothing to do with you and all to do with them. It all matters about what they're going through, their traumas, their self-beliefs, their limiting beliefs. That's in their lane. It has nothing to do with you. So the best thing you can actually do if you are a people pleaser is to be yourself and to influence other people in a positive way. So to basically start doing that, I started thinking about what would please me. Instead of focusing on like censoring myself in social situations, like, thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna say that joke because it might be weird and like it might make them feel weird. No. What would make me happy right now? To get up and start dancing. What would make me happy right now? To start laughing and say that joke that I want to say. What would make me happy right now? To go to that store and go walk in there. Who cares if they don't want to go there? I want to go there. You know what I mean? So that is so key, because I used to feel like, honestly, trapped. I used to feel trapped. I don't know if anybody else has ever felt like that, but when I would be like in a social setting, I would feel like literally trapped. I would feel like I had to like censor myself and watch myself so much. I didn't want to like make the wrong move. And I just felt like I have missed so many opportunities. I felt like I had, lost so many like opportunities to have real, genuine connections with other people. And also being a people pleaser made me feel lonely, because I had to always show up as this version of myself that was not who I am. And you might feel this way too. Like if you're a people pleaser and you're constantly trying to fit that mold, and you're constantly trying to just be what everybody else wants you to be because you're afraid that they're gonna judge you, you're afraid that you're imperfect, you're afraid of your flaws, you're afraid you're gonna be rejected, you're afraid of all these things, basically you're a people pleaser, or you could be, then you're never gonna feel truly seen. It is only when you are vulnerable, it's only when you embrace your true self, it's only when you start focusing on what makes you feel good and realizing that how other people treat you has all to do with them and nothing to do with you, that you're able to finally love yourself, finally feel unashamed of who you are, unashamed of your flaws, unashamed to be seen. And that is the only time that you can feel genuine love for other people and that you can feel genuine love from them. That is the only time you'll be able to connect with people, truly, like heart to heart, because they see you and you see them. And that is why I have felt so good these past couple of months, because whenever I go out or whenever I meet people, automatically it's like we're besties, like automatically. People are like inviting me to their tables, people are inviting me here, like networking is just like that. And it's just like the best part is it's just like there's no like field that you have to fit into. Everything just flows like perfectly. I don't know if I'm explaining that in a way that you might understand, but like I feel so free. I just feel free. And I feel like I connect with people again. And like if you haven't connected with people for so long and you're just like looking for that fulfillment and you might feel like lonely, you might feel like you can't go out in the world and like be yourself, then like that is what brings like real fulfillment, like connection and like love and accepting yourself for being imperfect and showing up and being like proud of your imperfections and being like, this is who I am. I have nothing to hide. Like, you're gonna see, like, when you get around other people, the energy will be so different. It will be so freeing. It will be so amazing. Okay, which brings me to my last part, which is, now that you are starting to love yourself unconditionally, or when you start learning to love yourself unconditionally after following these tips, make it your mission to love every single person that you see in this world unconditionally, the way that God loves you. Because God created you. He created you perfectly. And that is it. There's literally no questions. Like, every single flaw, every single thing that you've done, doesn't matter. You're perfect. You're beautiful. You're human. You're imperfectly perfect. And so I want you to love other people the same way in your lives. And hopefully that will allow you to forgive some people and let go of some negativity, let go of some things that are holding you down, that are making your light dim. Okay? Like, I made it my mission to love every single person on the earth the same way that I love myself. No more judging. And I also made it my mission to bring light to every single person that I meet. To somehow, by them having an encounter with me, they can also learn to love themselves and feel like they're perfect and feel unconditional love. When it comes to becoming beautiful on the inside, there is so much inner work that I've done. So comment down below for a part 2 if you want me to go through every single other thing that I've done to become the most beautiful, light version of myself on the inside, which then makes you beautiful on the outside, down below. And let me know if you related to this video, if you've ever gone through anything like this, or any experience that you felt like made you relate to this video, down below. I read all the comments.